The night was cold, the air crisp with a sense of foreboding as I stood alone on the desolate train platform. The flickering overhead lights cast eerie shadows that danced ominously across the cracked pavement. I clutched my ticket tightly, the only company I had in this forsaken place. The clock on the wall chimed midnight, its metallic echo sending shivers down my spine. I had been waiting for my train for what felt like an eternity, but there was no sign of it approaching. The station was deserted, devoid of any other souls brave enough to venture here at this ungodly hour. The only sound was the faint hum of distant machinery, an eerie symphony that filled the empty space around me. As minutes turned into hours, my anxiety began to fester. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. I took out my phone to check for any updates, but there was no signal. Panic welled up inside me as I realized I was completely isolated, cut off from the outside world. Just when despair was threatening to consume me, I heard it, the distant, mournful wail of a train's whistle. Relief washed over me as I saw the faint glimmer of headlights approaching in the distance. The train was finally coming. I stepped back from the edge of the platform, my heart racing in anticipation. But as the train drew closer, I noticed something was off. The windows were dark, and there were no signs of life inside. I felt a gnawing sense of unease as the train slowed to a stop in front of me. The doors creaked open, revealing a black void within. Hesitation clawed at my chest, but the thought of being stranded in this desolate place compelled me forward. I stepped onto the train, and the doors closed behind me with a sinister hiss. The interior was even colder than the platform, and an overwhelming sense of dread settled in the pit of my stomach. I wandered through the dimly lit carriages, each one as empty and eerie as the last. The seats were tattered, the windows cracked and smeared with filth. The train seemed ancient, a relic from a bygone era, and it exuded an aura of malevolence. As I made my way further into the train, a flicker of movement caught my eye. I froze in my tracks, my breath catching in my throat. In the corner of one carriage, I saw a shadowy figure, hunched and motionless. My heart pounded, and I cautiously approached, my footsteps echoing in the silence. As I got closer, I realized with horror that the figure was not human, but a grotesque, twisted creature. Its elongated limbs and contorted features sent a chill down my spine. It turned slowly to face me, revealing empty, soulless eyes that bore into my very core. I stumbled backward, desperate to escape this nightmare. I ran through the train, but no matter how far I went, I couldn't find an exit. The train seemed to stretch on infinitely, its interior a labyrinth of horrors. The creature pursued me relentlessly, its grotesque form contorting and shifting as it drew nearer. I was trapped in a never-ending nightmare, my every attempt to escape futile. My screams echoed through the train, but there was no one to hear them, no one to save me from this twisted reality. As the train hurtled through the darkness, I knew that I had become a permanent passenger on this macabre journey. The station at night had gone terribly wrong, and I was condemned to ride this nightmarish train forever, haunted by the sinister presence that lurked within its cursed carriages.